Rumble and Rebel News sue MP Sachs and others for conspiring to violate free speech rights. This is from Rumble. Toronto, April 7th, 2025, Globe Newswire. Rumble Canada, the high-growth video platform and cloud service provider, has joined Rebel News Network and its founder, Ezra Levant, in suing the Government of Canada, member of Canadian Parliament Yara Sachs, and other officials for conspiring to deprive them of their constitutional right to free expression. The lawsuit filed today in the Ontario Superior Court of Justice alleges that the defendants unsuccessfully tried to block two lawful and peaceful public gatherings celebrating free speech in the Toronto area last year simply because they disagreed with the political points of view of the organizers and participants. The suit alleges that the officials tried to thwart the event, which included Donald J. Trump Jr. as a featured speaker, by imposing unreasonably high charges for security measures that were not needed and designed only to prevent the events from taking place. The plaintiffs are seeking reimbursement in the amount of $37,177.80 for the excessive security costs, $250,000 in punitive damages and legal expenses, and have requested a trial in Toronto. So, Chris, tell me more.
Yeah, so we hosted an event with Ezra and Rebel News Live back in, was it the summer of last year?
Yeah,
and it was a great event, packed event, sold out event. We had Viva Frey come out. We had Glenn Greenwald come out. We had Donald Trump Jr. come out, Kimberly Guilfoyle. We had a great lineup. And it was really just, advocating free speech and promoting the Rumble shows. And it kind of dovetailed into the Rebel News Live event. And, we ran into some obstacles prior to the event. And, from my point of view, it was very odd and something didn't make sense. And it wasn't until post-event that Ezra was able to unravel quite a bit. And since he was, behind a lot of the freedom of information requests and what he found, I'll let him take it from here and kind of explain what we found.
Sure, thanks. Every year we do this fan gathering of our most enthusiastic viewers, and there's never a problem, of course. This year we held it at a venue that was on a former Canadian military base. About 30 years ago, it was an Army base or Air Force base. Now it's sports venues, event venues. I didn't think about that, but that's important. Hold that thought for a sec.
Sure.
So we go ahead and we do a deal with the event venue, and we add in, as we often do, a little free speech clause in the agreement saying you can't cancel us just because some people don't like us, because sometimes Antifa tries to shut us down. So we signed this great contract. We're all excited, sold out. Wow, Don Jr.'s coming up to Canada. But then the operator of the venue says, guys, I'm being told that you need an extra $40,000 in security. What? There's no need for that. That's insane. We already have security.
Let's just add that we already spent a ton on security, just for our own purposes.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
we hired police. We did everything that was required to do.
I mean, some VIPs like Don Jr., but I mean, it was a very secure thing. And $40,000, there's no way the conference would have been able to support that. And the venue operator, he said it's the landlord, the underlying landlord, because it used to be a military base, it's still owned by the Government of Canada. Mm. So the government agency that owned the substratum heard about this event. And it was only later when we did freedom of information requests of this government landlord that we found hundreds and hundreds of pages of emails. How do we stop this? These are undesirables. We've got to find something in the lease. We checked the lease. It's clean. We can't get them that way. We'll try this. Okay, we'll say that there's protesters coming. And then we did
They put that stuff in emails?
They put it all in writing.
If you scroll down
Sure.
a little bit, it'll actually have some quotes of the
If it happens on or near our property, we might attract an undesirable crowd, wrote one official in an email to colleagues. I am wondering if you think there is any language within the lease agreement that would permit us to stop this event from happening, wrote another. Based on my review, I don't think there is, but I would appreciate your opinion. It's remarkable that they would put that in electronic communications at all, considering that you have something like a FOIA request in Canada.
Yeah, I was surprised you even had
Yeah,
FOIA requests.
honestly.
That kind of shocked me.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, this is the government agency that manages real estate for the government. I don't think they get a lot of freedom of information requests.
Did you get pushback on the FOIAs?
No,
at
well,
all?
actually, they blacked out most of them. So what we see here is the stuff they're least ashamed of.
Oh
I
my!
see the other stuff.
And the thing is, in the lawsuit, they will not be able to black out anything other than legally privileged material. So if this is the tip of the iceberg, and then they kept saying to us, oh no, there's going to be this massive police threat. We have freedom of information from the cops who, as late as the day before, said we haven't heard anything, not even chatter. All the Antifa types in the city were at the University of Toronto Hamas encampment. They weren't going to schlep up to this military base. So the whole thing was made up. It was designed to get us to cancel the event. And I got to say, it would have worked. Because Rebel News doesn't have an extra 40 grand kicking around for BS security. But Rumble stepped up and said, this event's got to happen. In the name of free speech, we can't be hounded out of Canada. And so Rumble stepped up, and I was honestly of two minds. On the one hand, I was thrilled the event went forward. It was a great event. But on the other hand, to pay a ransom was against my fiber. But we found out what went on through these FOIA requests, and now we've named 5 different bureaucrats, plus the local member of parliament. That would be like a local congressman saying, tear up that contract. It's none of your damn business.
Was it finding out that where it was located that made you look into it and want FOIA requests, knowing that it was government property?
Well, I did. I never even thought of that. Like, who thinks about who owns the substratum when you're doing an event? I never even thought of it.
Right.
It's called the Canada Lands Company. I mean, I barely knew what they were.
Interesting.
But when they started making threats, our venue operator was scared. They were bullying him. Wow. He's a normie. He's a normal guy. He's not used to this. When we had him sign this non-deplatforming agreement, I don't think he really knew what it would be like. And when the government of Canada says, you cancel that, and you're a normal guy, you get scared. And only because of Rumble were we able to go through with it. And the very last day of our event, the local member of parliament does this rant on Twitter about how we're racist and we're not allowed in the district. Who the hell are you, lady? So we'll have a chance to find out her answer to that question. Who the hell are you? Because we named her in the lawsuit. I feel great about this. And I'm giving Chris a shout out because there's no way we would have had the means to do this on our own. And I know he's fighting for free speech in Brazil and in France and other semi-free countries. I just never would have thought but this is what I said earlier, we need the First Amendment in Canada.